Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the world of Eisenhower $1 coins, big, bold, and full of history. These coins, minted honor the 34th U.S. President and Supreme Allied Commander during World War II, Dwight D. Eisenhower. While most Ike dollars are relatively common, some rare versions with specific mint marks, years, and conditions have fetched hundreds and even thousands of dollars at auction. So in this video, we're counting down the top 5 most valuable Eisenhower $1 coins with different conditions, mint marks, and years that you just might have in your collection or pocket change. Let's get started. First up, the 1974 Eisenhower $1 coin with a D mint mark, specifically in fine condition. This large, bold coin stands out in any collection, but does it carry value beyond its face? Could this big dollar bring you big dollars on the market? We'll explore its history, unique features, collector demand even in damaged or worn states, and most importantly its current auction market value in US dollars. So let's jump right into the story behind this iconic American coin. The Eisenhower dollar was first introduced in 1971 to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower and to commemorate the Apollo 11 moon landing. It was the first US $1 coin issued after the Peace Dollar series ended in 1935. Designed by Frank Gasparro, the Eisenhower dollar remained in production until 1978. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar was struck during a time when the coin was still primarily used in commerce, particularly in casinos and military facilities, but it never gained popularity for general circulation due to its large size and heavy weight. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities responsible for producing circulating coinage for the United States. In 1974, Denver produced over 45 million Eisenhower dollars, making it far from the rarest of the series, but as we'll see, condition and collector interest can still make certain examples valuable. The 1974 D Eisenhower dollar is composed of a copper-nickel-clad outer layer bonded to a pure copper core, making it a non-silver version intended for circulation. The obverse features a powerful portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower facing left, along with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1974. Just below the neckline of Eisenhower's bust, you'll find the D mint mark. On the reverse side, the design celebrates America's venture into space, depicting an eagle landing on the moon while clutching an olive branch, a direct tribute to the Apollo 11 mission insignia. Surrounding the central imagery are the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination $1. The coin's diameter of 38.1 mm and weight of over 22 grams give it a commanding presence in the hand, a standout among modern U.S. coins. When it comes to rarity, the 1974 D Eisenhower dollar is not especially scarce in general. However, what sets valuable specimens apart is condition, striking quality, and eye appeal. In fine condition, which means the coin shows moderate wear with all major details still visible, the value remains relatively modest. But even in this condition, the coin holds interest for beginner collectors or those completing an Eisenhower dollar set. What's interesting is that even coins in damaged or circulated condition can find a home among collectors, particularly when they're used for educational purposes or budget-friendly sets. Some error coins or misstrikes from the Denver Mint in 1974, such as off-center strikes or double dies, can greatly increase interest and value, even if the coin is not in pristine condition. As of today's collector market, a 1974 D Eisenhower dollar in fine condition generally fetches between $326,000, only slightly above its face value. However, coins in higher grades like mint state or those certified by professional grading services can bring in significantly more, sometimes selling for $125,000 or even higher depending on quality and eye appeal. Notably, some rare varieties and exceptionally well-struck coins have appeared in auction houses and online marketplaces like eBay, where MS65 or MS66 graded examples can sell for $10 or more, especially if the coin features minimal contact marks and strong luster. It's worth noting that some buyers pay premiums simply for full sets, attractive toning, or historical packaging. If you're a collector looking to add a 1974 D Eisenhower dollar to your collection, there are a few key tips to keep in mind. First, always inspect the condition carefully. Even a small bump up in grade from fine to very fine or extremely fine can increase the coin's value. Second, consider getting the coin professionally graded if you believe it may be in mint state or have a rare error. Certification adds legitimacy and trust when buying or selling coins, especially online. Third, keep an eye out for special varieties, such as die clashes, doubling, or off-center strikes. These are rare but do show up in this series and can be worth considerably more than a standard example. Lastly, preserve your coin properly by storing it in a non-environment. Over time, well-preserved coins retain their value and visual appeal far better than those left unprotected. While the 1974 D. Eisenhower $1 coin in fine condition isn't a rare or high-dollar item on its own, it still holds important historical significance and collector interest. Its bold design, tribute to both a great president and the space race, and its role in U.S. coinage history make it a worthy addition to any collection. Whether you're just starting out or rounding off your Eisenhower dollar set, this coin has a story to tell and potentially a small but satisfying return at auction. Next up, the 1972 Eisenhower $1 coin with no mint mark, specifically in very fine condition. While at first glance this may appear to be just another large, copper-nickel dollar coin from the 1970s, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. From unique varieties to surprising auction values, this coin has earned a place in many collectors' treasure chests. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, stay with us as we break down everything you need to know about this intriguing dollar. The Eisenhower dollar series was minted from 1971 to 1978 to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower, as well as commemorate the first moon landing. It was the first U.S. dollar coin to be issued since the Peace Dollar series ended in 1935, and the first dollar coin to feature President Eisenhower. The obverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, features a bold portrait of Eisenhower, while the reverse features an image inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia, an eagle landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia minted coins, which bear no mint mark, were released primarily for general circulation. With over 75 million minted, it may seem like a common coin, but there's more to this story. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar without a mint mark has a composition of copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, giving it a weight of about 22.68 grams. The obverse features a sharp profile of Eisenhower facing left, with the inscriptions Liberty, the date 1972, and the motto In God We Trust. The reverse captures the spirit of American innovation and exploration, showing the bald eagle landing on the moon with the Earth in the background, a tribute to the Apollo 11 moon mission. Now here's where it gets particularly interesting. The 1972 Philadelphia dollar actually has 3 different reverse types: Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3, due to variations in the design of the Earth. The Type 2 reverse, in particular, is notoriously rare and commands high value on the market. Identifying these types requires a sharp eye, as the differences lie in the details of the Earth's islands and lines. While most 1972 Eisenhower dollars are easy to find in circulated or damaged condition, their value typically remains low, often just a bit over face value. However, the Type 2 reverse coins, which were only produced in Philadelphia and for a very limited time, are a different story. These are highly sought after, even in damaged or worn condition, due to their scarcity. Collectors are willing to pay significant premiums for a confirmed Type 2 coin, especially one that's still identifiable despite wear. Even in very fine condition, a standard 1972 Eisenhower dollar with no mint mark is not overly rare. But if it turns out to be a Type 2 reverse, its value can rise substantially. Damaged Type 2s have still been known to fetch $325,000 depending on visibility and authenticity. So what's the going rate for a 1972 Eisenhower dollar with no mint mark in very fine condition? For a regular coin, meaning not a Type 2, values typically range between, with some sellers listing slightly higher depending on demand and buyer enthusiasm. However, if the coin is identified as a Type 2 reverse, you're suddenly dealing with a high-value collectible. In very fine condition, a 1972 no mint mark Type 2 coin can easily fetch $421,000, and in higher grades, it may soar or more. In fact, certified MS-65 Type 2 coins have been known to break the $20 mark at auction. Because of this, even coins that look ordinary may be worth a closer inspection. Checking the Earth on the reverse and comparing it to Type 1 and Type 3 examples is key. If you think you found a Type 2, professional authentication is absolutely worth it. If you're looking to invest in or collect 1972 Eisenhower dollars, here are a few essential tips. Check the reverse carefully. Always look at the earth on the back of the coin. Learning to identify the three reverse types can mean the difference between a $3 coin and a $3,000 coin. Use a magnifier. Small details matter, especially when identifying reverse types. A 10x jeweller's loop can help you spot differences in the islands and coastlines on the earth. Avoid cleaned coins. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Always seek coins in natural condition, even if they show signs of wear. Buy certified when possible. For serious investment, consider coins that have been graded and slabbed by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Certification adds value and trust. Check auction sites. Online platforms like eBay or Heritage Auctions are great places to gauge real-time market demand and pricing trends for Eisenhower dollars. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar with no mint mark might not seem like a showstopper at first glance, but it holds fascinating potential, especially if it's a rare Type 2 reverse. In very fine condition, regular coins are worth a few dollars, but a Type 2 can command hundreds. This coin is a perfect example of why details matter in numismatics and how an ordinary-looking dollar could be a hidden gem in your pocket change. So, if you have a 1972 Ike dollar lying around, take a closer look. It might just be worth more than you think. Next up, the Eisenhower $1 coin, specifically the 1978 issue with a D mint mark, found in fine condition. Whether you've recently discovered one of these coins in your collection or you're just curious about its place in the numismatic world, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll explore its historical context, special features, rarity, market value, and what collectors should look out for. Let's begin the journey into the final chapter of the Eisenhower dollar series. The Eisenhower dollar was first introduced in 1971 to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, as well as to commemorate the Apollo 11 moon landing. It was the first US dollar coin issued since the peace dollar ended in 1935, and it marked the return of the large-size dollar coin. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar was the last year this iconic coin was minted before being replaced by the smaller and lighter Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979. The 1978D issue was struck at the Denver Mint, and it represents the final bow of this bold and heavy series, making it a historically significant piece, even if often overlooked. The 1978D Eisenhower dollar bears several notable characteristics. On the obverse, we see a bold profile of President Eisenhower designed by Frank Gasparo, who was also the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. His name appears subtly along the edge. The reverse of the coin features an eagle landing on the moon, holding an olive branch, modeled after the Apollo 11 insignia, a beautiful nod to America's space achievements. The coin has a copper-nickel clad composition and weighs a hefty 22.68 grams, with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, much larger than modern dollar coins. The D mint mark, found just above the date, denotes that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint in circulated or damaged condition. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar is not considered rare, as millions were minted, over 33 million, to be exact. However, because these coins were largely used in casinos and daily commerce, many found in the market today are worn or damaged. That means examples in fine or higher condition are becoming less common as time goes on. In fine condition, the details of Eisenhower's hair, cheekbone, and jawline are just beginning to fade, while the reverse eagle design still retains visible wing and moon features. Although it's not a rare coin by strict mintage numbers, the 1978D is valued more by collectors due to its status as the final Eisenhower issue. Even in less than perfect condition, some collectors seek it for the sake of completing a full set of Eisenhower dollars. So, what's the current value of the 1978D Eisenhower dollar in fine condition? On average, these coins tend to sell for around $629 in circulated grades like fine. However, the real value can rise when the coin is in extremely fine, almost uncirculated or mint state condition. A 1978D Eisenhower dollar graded MS65 by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC can fetch between $125,000 at auction. In rare cases, especially with superb luster or full strike detail, some high-grade examples have sold for $10 or more. Errors such as off-center strikes or double dies may also increase a coin's value dramatically, even in circulated condition. If you're collecting Eisenhower dollars or hoping to add a 1978D to your collection, here are a few tips. First, always inspect the coin surfaces. Look for clean fields, sharp edges, and minimal contact marks. Even in fine condition, try to find coins with less wear on Eisenhower's profile and the eagle's feathers. Secondly, consider collecting a complete Eisenhower dollar set, including all mints and years, as these are becoming more popular among modern collectors. Third, when purchasing higher grade or slabbed coins, ensure they are certified by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC to avoid counterfeits or over-graded examples. Finally, stay alert for mint errors. These can turn an ordinary dollar coin into a four-figure treasure. To wrap up, the 1978 Eisenhower $1 coin may not be the rarest or most valuable coin in your collection, but it holds a special place in American numismatic history. As the final issue of the Eisenhower series, it symbolizes the end of an era for large-size US dollars. While common in damaged or circulated condition, fine examples still attract interest from collectors completing sets or seeking nostalgic pieces. Its current market value may not be jaw-dropping, but with the right eye and a bit of luck, you might just stumble upon a high-grade gem or error coin worth much more. Next up, the 1976 Eisenhower $1 coin with no mint mark in circulated fine condition. If you've come across this hefty coin in your pocket change or inherited one from a relative, you might be wondering if it holds any real value. In this video, we'll uncover its historical significance, examine what makes it unique, and explore how it performs in today's collector market, especially in worn or fine condition. So, let's jump into the story behind this bicentennial beauty. The Eisenhower dollar was first issued in 1971 and was the first dollar coin issued by the U.S. Mint since the peace dollar in 1935. Named after the 34th President of the United States, Dwight D. Eisenhower, the coin commemorated both the late president and the success of the Apollo 11 moon landing. However, the year 1976 marked a very special occasion in American history. The nation's bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released a special bicentennial series, including quarters, half dollars, and the Eisenhower dollar. These coins were dual-dated 1776 to 1976 and featured unique reverse designs, setting them apart from other years. The 1976 Eisenhower dollar with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks at the time. While hundreds of millions were minted, their large size, short production period, and patriotic design make them a favorite among collectors. What sets the 1976 Eisenhower dollar apart is its special reverse design created specifically for the U.S. bicentennial. Instead of the usual eagle landing on the moon, the reverse of the bicentennial version features the Liberty Bell superimposed on the moon, a powerful symbol of freedom and exploration. This design was created by Dennis R. Williams, a student who won a national competition for the coin's reverse artwork. The obverse still features the left-facing portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, designed by Frank Gasparo. The coin is dual-dated 1776-1976, which only appeared during the bicentennial issue. It's made of a copper-nickel clad composition and weighs a solid 22.68 grams with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, making it one of the largest coins ever circulated in the US. Now let's talk rarity. In terms of total mintage, the 1976 Eisenhower dollar with no mint mark is not considered rare in higher grades, as the Philadelphia Mint produced over 113 million of these coins. However, finding them today in good collectible condition, especially ones that have survived circulation without heavy wear, can be somewhat of a challenge. In fine circulated condition, these coins typically exhibit noticeable wear, especially on Eisenhower's cheek and hair, as well as on the details of the Liberty Bell and moon on the reverse. Still, even in worn condition, many collectors seek out this coin due to its historical significance and status as a one-year-only reverse design. While it's not considered rare in fine condition, it's a necessary piece for completing any Eisenhower dollar or bicentennial set, which keeps demand steady, especially among entry-level collectors. In the current coin market, a 1976 Eisenhower dollar with no mint mark in circulated fine condition typically sells for around $532,000, depending on overall eye appeal and preservation. While this may not seem like a huge return, it's still above face value, and more pristine examples such as those in uncirculated or mint state can fetch higher prices, ranging from $20 and even more for graded coins in MS-65 or higher. At auctions or coin shows, Bulk sales of circulated Eisenhower dollars may bring slightly lower prices, but individual sales to interested buyers, especially online, can yield better returns, particularly if the coin is photographed well and accurately described. Special errors, such as off-center strikes or die cracks, can also increase a coin's value significantly, sometimes reaching $223,000 or more. If you're interested in collecting the 1976 Eisenhower dollar with no mint mark, here are some helpful tips. First, always examine the coin for signs of damage or corrosion. Coins with holes, heavy scratches, or discoloration will command far less interest from buyers. Second, consider storing your coin in a protective holder to prevent further wear if you plan to keep it in your collection. Lastly, even circulated examples can be valuable for teaching young collectors about coin history, the US bicentennial, and the evolution of American coinage. The 1976 Eisenhower $1 coin with no mint mark is a patriotic piece of American history, celebrating 200 years of independence. Though not exceedingly rare in circulated fine condition, it holds a special place in the world of numismatics thanks to its unique design, historical context, and large size. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, owning this coin is a meaningful way to commemorate America's bicentennial and the legacy of President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Be sure to check your change or old coin jars. You might just find one of these iconic coins hiding in plain sight. Next up, the 1971 Eisenhower $1 coin with the D mint mark. If you've come across one of these hefty coins in your pocket change or coin jar, especially in circulated condition, you might be wondering, does it have any value? Is it rare? And what could it fetch at auction? Stick with us as we explore the background, rarity, collector interest, and potential market value of the 1971 D Eisenhower dollar, even in its worn and circulated state. The Eisenhower dollar, often affectionately referred to as the Ike dollar, was introduced in 1971 to honor the memory of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who passed away in 1969. This coin also commemorates the Apollo 11 moon landing of 1969, making it a dual tribute to two of America's proudest achievements. The 1971 D version was minted at the Denver Mint, which produced coins primarily for circulation. This release marked the beginning of the Eisenhower dollar series, which continued through 1978, and it was the first US dollar coin struck since the peace dollar ended in 1935. The 1971 D Eisenhower dollar features a left-facing profile of President Eisenhower on the obverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. Above his head arcs the word Liberty, while the motto "In God We Trust" is inscribed to the left, with the date 1971 centered at the bottom. Just above the date, you'll spot the D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. Flip the coin over, and you'll see an eagle landing on the moon, gripping an olive branch, a stunning design inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia. Encircling this are the words United States of America and $1, with the phrase E pluribus unum hovering above the eagle's wings. It's a coin rich with symbolism, history, and patriotic pride. Physically, the coin is quite substantial. It's made of a copper-nickel clad composition over a pure copper core, weighing in at 22.68 grams and measuring 38.1 millimeters in diameter. This is much larger and heavier than the modern small-sized dollar coins, making the Eisenhower dollar a unique coin in your hand and in your collection. Now, let's talk rarity, especially in circulated condition. The 1971 D Eisenhower dollar had a total mintage of over 68.5 million coins, which means it's far from rare in the traditional sense. However, most of these coins entered circulation and suffered heavy wear over time. As a result, finding pristine examples is harder than it might seem. In circulated condition, especially those with scratches, dull surfaces, or minor damage, the coin holds more historical than monetary value. That said, many collectors still seek circulated coins for typesets or as budget-friendly additions to their Eisenhower dollar collections. What makes these coins appealing in worn condition is their legacy, size, and connection to both a US president and the space age. Even though damaged or worn coins aren't high-value rarities, collectors often look for examples with minimal surface issues, strong details, and a clearly visible mint mark. These circulated coins may not turn heads at high-profile auctions, but they remain important pieces of American numismatics. So, what is a circulated 1971 D Eisenhower dollar worth today? In general, circulated examples in average condition typically sell for around $734,000. The price may increase slightly if the coin is in better than average circulated condition, with minimal wear and nice eye appeal. Coins that have been graded professionally or are in high circulated grades such as AU, about uncirculated, can fetch $15, especially if sold directly to collectors. Keep in mind, heavily damaged coins with deep scratches or corrosion may only bring face value or slightly above, especially if sold in bulk. On online auction platforms like eBay, individual circulated 1971D Eisenhower dollars sometimes sell for $129,000 depending on shipping costs, photos, and listing details. If bundled in a lot with other Eisenhower dollars, the per coin value may drop slightly. If you're a collector looking to add a 1971D Eisenhower dollar to your collection, here are a few tips. Inspect the coin carefully. Even in circulated condition, try to find coins with strong details and minimal wear, especially on Eisenhower's cheekbone and the eagle's wings. Look for varieties and errors. Some 1971D Eisenhower dollars have known errors, such as die clashes, double dies, or off-center strikes. These can increase the coin's value considerably, sometimes into the tens or even hundreds of dollars if dramatic. Even circulated coins deserve care. Keep your Eisenhower dollars in coin flips, tubes, or albums to avoid further damage. Don't overpay for circulated coins. Prices are typically low, and these coins are common. Shop around, compare prices, and only pay premiums for coins with unique features or outstanding condition. Consider collecting the full series from 1971 to 1978. It's an affordable way to dive into a complete and satisfying US coin series. To wrap it up, the 1971D Eisenhower dollar may not be the rarest or most valuable coin in your collection, especially in circulated condition, but it holds immense historical significance. It marks the beginning of a new era in American coinage, honors a beloved president, and celebrates a defining moment in human history, the landing on the moon. Its bold size, unique design, and patriotic themes make it a favorite among many collectors. While it may only fetch a couple of dollars on the market today, its true value lies in the story it tells and the era it represents. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a coin deep dive like this one. Drop a comment below if you have a 1971D Eisenhower dollar or want to share your collecting journey. Until next time, happy collecting!